What's up guys, how are you all doing? It's been a while since I finished 200 mil, and ever since I've quietly had a goal in the back of my mind that I haven't really discussed with anyone else, but it's something that I kind of want to start working towards. So I say the way I've always played this game is I like being sort of competitive in terms of pushing myself to the limits, striving towards big goals of course. Given that I spent the last 6 years playing RuneScape, going for 200 mil, I think this is not a surprise to anyone. And now with the advent of collection log high scores that was given out by Mod Husky a few months ago, I've been starting to ask the question: can I do something else other than skilling on my account in terms of improving it, making it the best that we can? So it's somewhat like a blanket goal, but I like to be, let's call it like the best Ironman. Can I be as the best of the best? Can I get every item I've already completed, max XP in every skill? So that's a big start. But I mean, I have some decent gear, but now I've started to think about, can I improve on it? What else can I attain? Can I finish combat achievements? Can I prove myself in the realms of PVM? So my thought was, now that there's not necessarily like for me, like skilling, I had like I want to do it as fast as possible, but with PVM, why not do it differently? Like, one thing I didn't do with skilling is I didn't really journal or present any of this in terms of like videos. I know I did a bit of streaming, but it was pretty now and then. So I'm pretty far in. So I'm 100 and 1,000 and 163 out of 1560, but I still feel like I could start making some progress now. Like I've heard a good saying where the best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago, but the second best time is to plant it now. So I'm thinking now I want to start making videos and kind of journaling my progress, because I think it'd be kind of interesting, because you don't see many like end game high level Ironman, especially one that can't gain XP. So I think I'd have a pretty unique perspective on it. So this is where I want to start. I want to kind of start journaling and documenting my progress in this way, as a way of entertainment, growth, presenting a story. I didn't do this with 4.6 bill, but I want to start making like another video or some content around describing that journey. But yeah, for now, this is going to be a very, let's call it a quick ramble, because there won't be any like editing or anything like that. So once I finish this course, I will start showing you my log. I want to aim to play around 10 to 40 hours per week. So let's see how much progress I can make, because as you and all of us know, RuneScape is a time game. The amount you put in is going to be the most important factor. But yeah, let's show off my log. So I think I'm on a good starting point in terms of what I've done. I've done a decent amount of the bosses, finished Sire, Hydra. A lot of the Slayer bosses I've actually finished. I only really have a Raxor and a few of the others which aren't requirement of a task. Barrows, I will... Actually, I think I do finish a lot of barrows once you can use your items on the log slots. Firefight was a tough one, so one thing I'm pretty excited about for collection log is trying to work on some dry streaks. I find it interesting to go as dry as possible. Obviously, I don't want to go dry, but I like the sense of achievement after you finish a log after a long dry streak. So definitely going to run into plenty of that. But let's see. Callisto, I need the pet. I might need to get into the elite boosting method where they do Callisto in like a 10-man. That seems very good for elites. Okay, Cerberus, I spooned that. I actually did not like the boss that much, but that's all done fairly early. Chaos Elemental, a lot of these bosses. So the way I'm going to approach my collection loggings, I'm going to work on mostly good gear first. So I'll show in my bank in a moment, but a lot of my gear is good, but I'm missing a few like critical items like the twisted bow and a few items, especially from like necks. But it's mainly the twisted bow and a few other things that I need to upgrade on. Other than that, I have done a bunch of these bosses, but still have a lot to complete. I haven't started Colosseum. I will. So down here, I have more teleports. I tried to kind of just organize this because one thing I found with all these teleport items is I just get like the odd charges stacking up in my bank. So I was just trying to place them all here in one place. One really big thing was the potion storage upgrade from Mastering Mixology. It granted me about 100 bank spaces, so it lets me do this sort of stuff now. And I hope Jagex like adds more sort of updates to add more bank space. So next on to raids. I think I'll start on Tombs of Massacre. So a lot of the time this year I spent on the game is actually finishing Tombs of Massacre. I really wanted the shadow. I thought that was going to be the most important item for my bossing time on RuneScape. And it took a while. It took 720. I think I did a few raids after finishing. But I think this was the 57th purple that I got my shadow, and it was very tough. I died a lot, let's put it that way. So it really slowed down, and I pretty much spent the best total of 8 months at the raid. Honestly, I actually enjoyed the raid overall. I didn't enjoy dying, but I found it somewhat engaging. I'd definitely say it's the least enjoyable raid of the three, but I'd say it's still quite enjoyable. One thing I like about like going dry is you get all these like dupes. One thing I'm going to try do with I guess this video series and my account is try keep as much dupes as possible. I want to avoid dropping them for bonds if I can. My plan to actually get money for bonds and that, I'm going to try get into Barbarian Assault and hopefully get into selling leeches so I can get free, no, not free, but get alt GP so I don't have to drop any items. But yeah, Tombs of Massacre, I'm pretty close to finishing the non-KC capes. I just need the Catherine Mog, which I've tried a few times, but my partner hasn't been logging in lately, so I might have to solo that later. Next up is TOB. I need to get back in for 2 reasons. First off, it's really fun and it's enjoyable to do with teammates. And secondly, I am pretty low on files of blood, so given that I have a few bosses that need a scythe, I really need to work on it. Next up, I have chambers. So one quirk you might see is I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 of the 12 out of 12 of the items. But I don't actually have the T-bow in the bank. So if I go into my bank, I have no T-bow. It is non-existent. I can get onto the story maybe at a later moment, but essentially I lost it about 5 years ago, and I probably done about 800 raid saints, and I've not been able to get it back. But if I'm being objective, the average completion KC for 12 out of 12 is, I believe, like 2,200 normals. So I am very lucky in the grand schemes, and I'll definitely try to grind T-bow back when I can. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it. I think it'd be more efficient to do like team CMs, but I'm going to have to find teams to do that. The alternative is going to be solo CMs, and I've did a few with the shadow. It was actually not that bad, so that might be the route. But if I can find team CMs, that would be a lot more efficient towards the KC capes. So yeah, that'll be good. Next up with clues, I did beginner clues. That was done while I was doing 200 more. Actually, you get a lot of passive clues while skilling, so I use that opportunity to just finish off the beginner log. So I don't want to call it a regret, but because I finished all my skills first, I lost out on a lot of potential like passive clues or sort of resources. But I wanted to finish skilling first before working on anything else. Next up, we have easies. They are decently completed, but a lot more slots to get. A lot more free slots, actually. I think between easies, mediums, and hard, I can get like 100 slots. So I can build up a lot of my log count pretty soon. But that's not my main goal right now. My main goal is going to be bosses. Not many massive things, unfortunately, from clues. Masters, I have basically every common unique. Just need I don't have any mummies or Anki pieces, nor the Bloodhound. So for now, if I get elite, I'm going to try make it into a master and work on the Bloodhound before kind of working on the elite clue stack. Any third age, I have one third age, which is the third age one, which is very huge for sure. Definitely adds a lot to the bank value, and it's going to be very rare. One gilded as well. Like to see that climb up pretty soon. Mini games, it's like partially completed. I can definitely get around to finishing some of these when I have time. I'm not too worried about it. If I just have some downtime, I don't want to kind of do anything intense. I'll just get some mini game logs done. So yeah, that's my log. I've got a good amount of progress. I will show in a moment my log standing. I believe I'm around like number 300 for like Ironman for the log count, a lot of log high scores. So yeah, for me, as a personal thing, I'm gonna try compare at my detriment to Ironman only, because mains just play like a completely different game with clues being like buying from implings, having the ability to use ults and having so many more resources. But that's fine. It's just a completely different game mode, and I'm not gonna beat myself up. But I have perfectly an enjoyable time the way that Ironman is, and I don't want it to be changed just because to make it faster or closer to mains. It is. That's the beauty of the game mode, in my opinion. So I don't want to make this too long of a ramble, but I'll just do a quick show of my bank. So I've tried to organize this a bit more. I am very I try to clean this up as much as possible, but you'll see how good my organization is. So my cash stack is pretty bad. Gonna not really care about the cash stack. It'd be nice to have like more bank space as well, but I can work on that later. In my front, what do we call this? The main tab. I mainly have my teleports and my runes just to make it look pretty. All like my main tabs are just aesthetics now, because nowadays you use the rune like bank tab plugins. Below that, I just have a bunch of junk that I've accumulated that I haven't organized. Let's put that here. In here we have sort of somewhat organized herb lore and cooking tab. Got some herbs on the side and cooking on the right. Fortunately, I used up all my herbs for 200 mil herb lore, so the stack isn't as impressive as it could look. But I have a lot of roundel seeds. I guess that's one thing that's really cool. But yeah, that's just the herb tab. Here is, call it the resource or like smithing, crafting tab. A lot of deep dragon darts that I can start making, all from Tombs of a Massacre and Forecaf. That would be great to go through. Next up is the gear tab. So this is the current state of my gear. I'd say I'm missing maybe one or two key upgrades, mainly probably like the T-bow. I think like if you have just the 3 megas, you can do any content. But besides that, I need to finish full Inquisitor. I need to do a bunch of necks. I also need to do desert treasure too. So you can see my rings here. None of them are upgraded. But this is content that I never really did before I committed to full-time skilling. But now I'm finished. It's time to upgrade, really. Like there's no better time than now. Here, a bunch of the supplies. You've got a bunch of cannibals. I need to use these more liberally because I'm going to get a lot of them, especially from corporeal beasts, because of how long that grind is. But yeah, I'm going to do a bunch of wildy slayer soon, so I'm going to start using that for sure. Down here, it's a alk tab. I just dump anything that I want to alk in the future, besides this Bandos hilt. Let's put this somewhere clean. Just look at the tab. I'm just going to assume I've got about 100 mil to alk. So yeah, my cash stack is not good, but going to improve that soon. Here is, it's sort of like a unique tab, but I don't call it like unique, useless uniques. So I'll scroll down quickly. Bunch of random stuff. One thing I want to do, especially with like collection log, is just collecting like random stuff. Like it doesn't have to be like a unique. Just I like seeing dupes pile up in your bank. I think it looks really cool. So yeah, definitely want to improve how good this tab looks. I mean, it's already 3 billion, but it's all like from the third age wand. Down here, I'm not gonna explain anything just because these are pretty much junk tabs. This is a skilling outfit. This was supposed to be like a master clue tab, but now the plugins, the bank tag plugins come in. I don't really have a use for this, so I'm probably gonna decommission this tab pretty soon. This one is somewhat like a random flex tab. So as you can see, I got stale baguette. Literally the week before I got 200 mil, I got stale baguette. So it's as if like they wanted me to be a collection logger. So that's very nice to have for sure. This is a bunch of the random stuff I collected from skilling. So this was from 200 mil fletching. This was from 200 mil crafting. A lot of this was fishing or like AFKing. This was from making cooking. Yeah, and there's a lot of cool stuff. So a lot of this is junk, but I like having like cool numbers appear in the bank. But yeah. So I really have two goals really. I want to build on 200 mil all, complete combat achievements, and also complete as much of the collection log as possible. I also want to test myself as like a RuneScape player as well. So potentially some speedrun content or any challenges like that. That'd be pretty cool to do, and I think it'll be like pretty stimulating and fun to kind of challenge myself in that sort of sense. And the last thing I want to do is kind of build up my bank. So currently at 11.5 billion, but as our PVM, that would definitely climb a lot more. So yeah, that's like a quick ramble. Maybe not so quick for some of you guys with low attention span. I also have pretty bad attention span, especially after finishing. But hey, I have somewhat of a new goal that I want to kind of work towards, but in a like a more balanced way. Definitely won't be going as intense, but I want to kind of just document this new journey that I have on this game, working on collection log. So anyways, feel free to like or subscribe, or if you want to see more of this content, I'll try do as much as I can with work and other things I'm going on. But other than that, follow me on Twitter or on my Twitch. I'll try post content on either of those platforms. So yeah, until next time, hopefully I'll create my first progress video pretty soon, but it depends on how much I can get done, and I'll be playing leagues, which will also slow me down. But let's see. Be fun, and until next time, see you around.